This video is brought to you by Bigpipi Reddit. Serious, what are some seemingly normal images with disturbing backstories? This picture of Russian ambassador to Turkey Andrei Karlov standing in an art gallery about to do a conference. Behind him is Mevlut Merdaltantaz, the man who is about to assassinate him. Alan Kruby, freshman at the University of Oklahoma in 2014, murdered his entire family on a Friday. The next day, he drove down to Dallas for the OU-Texas football game, where he stayed in a hotel with his friends and posted this candid photo on Instagram. In what I assume would be an attempt to build an alibi. Didn't work, as he quickly confessed and received multiple life sentences. Still, I can't imagine what the people in this photo and others who were probably in that hotel room must have felt when they learned what had happened. This was from a case in Denmark a couple of years ago. The woman was a Swedish journalist who was invited by the man to come with him in his home-built submarine. This was one of the last pictures of her before he brutally killed her and dumped her mutilated body different places under the water to hide it. A crazy man with a fucked up mind. This image from the 1988 Gladbeck hostage crisis in Germany. The guy on the left is a robber, the girl on the right is a hostage who was killed while the police was taking action to stop the crisis. First day, two guys rob a bank and held some people as hostages. They first demanded a getaway car. They were given a white Audi and 300,000 German marks. They took two hostages with them in the car. Later one of the robbers' sister boarded the car with them. News reporters were following them with their cars. The next day, the robbers hijacked a bus with 32 passengers in them. A couple of times they allowed a news reporter to come in the bus and interviewed them. Later one of the robbers even came out of the bus to give an interview. You can see the hostage bus in the back. He said that he doesn't care what will happen in the end because he will kill himself and that he doesn't give a shit about his life. Later they let some hostages out of the bus and drove the bus away. They stopped the bus at a gas station where the sister of the robber went to the toilet, where police arrested her. When the robber found out about it, he said that they have 5 minutes to free her or a hostage will be killed. She was let free, but while she was going to the bus an Italian teenager was killed by the robbers. The Italian teenager was protecting his little sister. He could have survived if there was an ambulance near the gas station. In the night, they drove the bus to the Netherlands, where the Dutch police demanded them to release the young hostages first, before accepting any offerings from the robbers. After they let some hostages away, the Dutch police gave the robbers a BMW car, with remote control. The robbers took two hostages with them and drove back to Germany. Later on they were surrounded by a lot of media reporters who took a lot of pictures of the scene which can be found in Google. While they were driving on a highway, the German police finally took action and rammed the hostage car. The remote controller was forgotten somewhere so it wasn't used. One of the hostages could flee off the highway, while the other hostage was shot and killed. The driver-robber later said in an interview that the bullets from the policeman killed the hostage. The German police denies that and said that the robber's bullet hit the hostage. The police and the media were heavily criticized because of the lack of taking action, police, and not letting any police near the crime scene, media. Last image of Sydney Lou before she was murdered by her Tinder date. She had been cut into 14 pieces and part of her upper left arm was never found. Her body was brought to the morgue in 6 separate bags. So I just looked this up and it appears far more strange than you let on. Sydney Lou, aged 24, began talking to a woman on Tinder who used the fake name Audrey, but it was actually 25-year-old woman Bailey Boswell. The two went on a date. Then they went on a second date in which they went to Bailey's home where she lived with her 52-year-old boyfriend Aubrey Trail. Sydney died that night, so Aubrey was a lifelong conman and a sadist who wanted to have a sex cult coven sort of thing comprised of women who were subservient to him. The women told jurors that Trail and Boswell spoke more than once about a desire to torture and kill someone so the women could become witches and gain powers. One woman said the pair intended to record and sell such a video for $1 million. There's more to it than that, but just a strange story. The top photo looks like a cop shilling. It is a fake cop who, when photo taken, just got arrested after killing 77 people, among them approx 60 kids teenagers, and injuring around 250 people. He set off a bomb in the city that killed 8 people and then went out to an island where a youth camp was held. He just started shooting, They were trapped on the island and had to swim to get off. Kids who didn't know who was shooting came to him for safety because he was dressed as a cop and then he shot them. There is a movie about this called 22nd of July on Netflix. This guy took a picture of a bear while in the woods. Shortly after he took that photo he was killed by that same bear.